The mayor of Huntington Beach is seeking a city ordinance that opposes California's new law preventing educators from notifying parents of their child's gender identity or expression.
Yeah. New opposition to California Assembly Bill 1955. Huntington Beach Mayor Gracey Van Der Mark now announcing plans to declare the city a right-to-know city.
There's no other bond more sacred than the parent-child bond, and Sacramento's interfering and getting in the middle of that.
Governor Gavin Newsom 2 weeks ago signed AB 1955 into law, banning school educators from telling parents of their child's gender identity or expression when it opposes their biological sex.
The governor can raise his children the way he wants. I will raise my children the way I want. They're our children. It is our choice, and he needs to stick his nose out of our business.
In this Fox 11 debate Wednesday night, State Superintendent of Public Instruction Tony Thurman and Riverside County Sheriff Chad Bianco had a heated exchange over AB 1955.
It protects young people from being forcibly outed. And research shows that when you target LGBTQ plus students in this way, you propel them towards suicide.
This bill is absolutely horrible, and it certainly takes away the rights of teachers to inform parents.
They're literally keeping the parents in the dark.
Mayor Van Der Mark plans to bring the item up to council Tuesday, hoping other California cities do the same.
There's one issue that should bring us together is protecting our parental rights. And we're happy to be the tip of the spear.
Later.
The government took her away from her mom. She started to become depressed. Did the state or school try to help? No. But her mom tried, but they took precious Yaeli away from her. She died. Shh, it's a secret. Don't tell your parents. Then I say you're abiding by the socialist agenda by destroying the family, brainwashing, coaching, and threatening to take the kids away from the parents who want to protect their children.
These parents have the right to dictate all aspects of their child's education and life. Let's also be clear. The far left and the LGBT community has failed. They have failed. We have been listening to the Democrats and the LGBT community for decades.
What's going on, guys? So we got to talk about the radical Kamala Harris agenda. That's right, Kamala Harris, because this bill that was proposed by Gavin Newsom, historically, Kamala Harris has supported things just like this out there in California. These two are cut from the same cloth, and I tell you right now that Gavin Newsom is next in line. As a matter of fact, they would have much preferred to put him up as opposed to Kamala Harris. Kamala is just who they're stuck with at this particular moment. But this Assembly Bill 1955 was literally recently passed, I would say maybe roughly a month ago, where Gavin Newsom allows the school to effectively hide if your child decides that they want to change their gender. Now, the details of that are a bit gray. I do believe that the limitation is if there's obviously some sort of surgery, but that doesn't mean that they can't start prescribing medications, that they can't change their pronouns, and all these myriad of different things. The only thing that they can't do is literally start chopping stuff off without the parental consent. Now, I wanted to react to this Huntington Beach City Council meeting where these parents are going off. They're freaking pissed about this situation. And I tell you right now, if Kamala Harris wins, America is next.
And once the state intervenes and thinks they know how to raise our children better than us parents do, that's when the mama bears come out. She was walking down the hallway with her class, and another teacher with her class walked down the hallway to the bathroom, and that teacher bent over and said, "Are you a girl or a boy? Do you want our children," little kindergartners, being asked that question? Are we trying to confuse our children? Dan, I have a question. You said it's the parents who should decide what books their children should read. Shouldn't it be the parents who decide if they don't want their children taught sexualization curriculum to their children?
I stand before you today vehemently opposed to California Assembly Bill 1955, which now is law. Threatens parental rights to be informed about critical health and gender decisions affecting their children. AB 1955 seeks to allow schools and teachers to provide sensitive medical care to minors without notifying their parents. This is not just a legal issue.
Please don't interrupt the speakers. Thank you.
You got these losers interrupting him.
This is not
weirdos, pedophiles.
This is not just a
Tito's.
legal issue, it's a fundamental attack on the role of parents in the lives of their children.
And my wife and I, we began speaking, and we were thinking of, like, what is the purpose of creating life if that child is just going to become a ward of the state? I mean, there is no intention to even prolonging life if we're just going to be handing them off to the government. You laugh about it, but your ideology doesn't even produce children. You want to indoctrinate our own. Okay, and the problem is it's coming from the state. You're going to say what our mayor is trying to do is just a stunt, and it has no real teeth to it. I don't know if you realize, but back in, I think, April, Measure A passed. We want voter IDs. What does Sacramento do? Ted Wood goes ahead and immediately passes legislation to override our votes in this city. We voted for that. So what our mayor is doing is protecting our children, regardless of what the superpowers of Sacramento want to happen. It is not their responsibility to dictate what we should be thinking, what is right and wrong. And the problem starts with Title I funding. It's basically converted schools to basically glorified health centers. They're turning these children into mental asylums. They're causing them issues. They're kids. They don't know any better between left and right and up and down, and you're telling them that their genitalia is wrong and they're born in the wrong body. How evil of a thought that must be in your head.
Wow.
And, just to put more hypocrisy on the story, you're over here talking about transparency with the air show. Why don't you give transparency to the teachers and the parents? I mean, where is the hypocrisy? Seriously.
A lot of people have been coming up here calling a lot of us weird and what we are advocating for. I don't think that speaking out against pedophiles is weird. I don't think that not wanting books in schools that show children how to give blowjobs, how to have sex, I don't think that's weird, because these are books that are in the library in different unified school districts here in the state of California. None of that is weird. So when I'm listening to people calling us weird for speaking out against pornography in school, then I must look at these people like they are supporting pedophiles, which is extremely concerning. And thank you for not allowing all of these pedophiles and their disgusting ideologies to not go unnoticed. Thank you. Thank you.
Nobody on earth can ever love you more than your parents. At times, it seems that our public education system doesn't understand this basic truth. If they did, they wouldn't be supporting AB 1955, that basically assigns educators to purposefully withhold valuable information from parents regarding their children. It doesn't matter what their personal beliefs are on specific issues. It is never acceptable for educators to try to insert their own ideology and intentionally interfere with the sacred bond between parent and child.
Shh! Don't tell the parents is what they're saying. And whether you know it or not, you're following socialist teacher Saul Alinsky's ideas, increasing insecurity, anxiety, and uncertainty. Destroy the family, he says. You are not protecting the children and parents that way. When these children are taken from their parents, it's traumatic for the teen, especially because the parent wants to protect and advise. If you cared, you would change this garbage in your schools. Because of this, our kids have become insecure, anxious, and uncertain. Just like that photo of Yaeli Martinez from an LA school district. She was encouraged to be who she wanted to be by a counselor of the school. When her mom tried to help her to continue being a girl as she was born, the government took her away from her mom. She started to become depressed. Did the state or school try to help? No. But her mom tried, but they took precious Yaeli away from her. She died. Yes, she committed suicide. And if Huntington Beach allows this to go on their schools, shh, it's a secret. Don't tell your parents. Then I say you're abiding by the socialist agenda by destroying the family, brainwashing, coaching, and threatening to take the kids away from the parents who want to protect their children. We pay you to teach them properly, not to indoctrinate them. And because taking them away from us is not good. If you're going to continue to allow this to happen in our schools so others could end up like Yaeli Martinez, we have something to say. We're going against the 14th Amendment. You are going against the 14th Amendment. If you don't protect the rights of the parents and stop indoctrinating the children, then the next suicide that occurs in one of our schools because of indoctrination, these parents and I will know that there is blood to account.
AB 1955 was a sneaky gut and amend bill passed by the California legislature and signed into law by Governor Newsom. Because it was knowingly unpopular, the author hijacked another bill and replaced its text, which allowed the bill to skirt the usual legislative process that permits debate and a public hearing.
Wow.
What does this bill do?
Not surprising.
It severs the line of communication between school staff and parents. It creates mistrust. It destroys the collaborative spirit necessary for a healthy working relationship between teachers and parents. Under this new law, confused children can now be led to the conclusion they were born in the wrong body, be given learning material reinforcing that idea, and coached down the path of gender transitioning, all without parental knowledge. It's mind-boggling how anyone supports this bill. Regardless of your beliefs on gender transitioning, why would anyone want legislation that permits schools to keep secrets from parents? It's a dangerous, slippery slope.
Good evening. Let's be clear. AB 1955, also known as the TRAP Bill, takes rights away from parents actively as it's being implemented against the Constitution. These parents have the right to dictate all aspects of their child's education and life. Let's also be clear. The far left and the LGBT community has failed. They have failed.
Fact.
We have our youth dying in an uproar of suicide, and they want to think that they have the right to dictate how these child's lives will go? You have failed the entire time you've had the torch. We have been listening to the Democrats and the LGBT community for decades. Now it is the parents' job to come in and save their own children. It is the parents' job to come in and dictate their lives. Chino Valley, Temecula Valley, Orange Unified, and the state of Florida all implemented policies to notify parents of what happens with their child under the delegated duty of a school district. How many transgender youth have killed themselves due to the notification of parents? None. But let's be clear. Under the care of the Democrats and the LGBT community, it has been skyrocketing because of the dictation that they do in these meetings. Go into our legislation and acting as if they know what they need. These are their parents' kids, not yours. Oh, one more thing, just because I feel like we need it. Christ is King.
Hey, yes,
Thank
sir.
I'm a father of 4 beautiful twin daughters. I migrated from Soviet Union.
Yo, check out his
Okay.
Yo, check out this dude's hat though. Yo, I love this dude's hat. I gotta get me one of those.
1987. I'm a refugee from Soviet Union. Gentleman told me I look too young to be from Soviet Union, so thank you. Yeah, and to call me fascist, I'm a commie. Get that shit straight, okay? Excuse for my language. Second of all, I am very disgusted by this opposition to here today. I trust you with 7 hours of my children's life to you guys. If you're gonna keep secrets, why am I trusting you?
Fact.
Like seriously, think
Hello.
about it. I was a child. I kept everything secret from my parents.
Thank you.
You know.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Your time is up.
Thank you. Time's up. Time's up.
Your time is up, sir.
Guys, what chaos. This is out there in California, Kamala's stomping ground. Gavin Newsom's out there screwing it up right now. So he's totally destroying that place. Kamala Harris left it a disaster. Gavin Newsom came in, took the torch, screwing it up even worse. They have the highest rate of people leaving, the state, picking up, gathering all their stuff, selling their house, whatever they're doing, and moving out than anywhere else in the nation. This is what the Kamala Walz ticket looks like. You already see what the Biden-Harris ticket looks like. The Harris-Walz ticket is going to be more the same, maybe even worse, because this is the type of stuff Kamala has historically supported, the wokest, craziest stuff ever. She already said she wanted to be woke. She embraces the wokeness.
You know, we have to stay woke. Like, everybody needs to be woke. And you can talk about if you're the wokest or woker, but just stay more woke than less woke. Yeah.
You can't have this disaster, guys. This is a total disaster, and it's coming to a federal government near you soon. They're going to be locking you up and taking your children away if you don't affirm whatever the whim of that child is. Mark my word. Get out and vote. Early vote. Vote on November 5th because literally you and your child's lives depend on it. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I appreciate y'all watching the Black Anomaly Rising channel. I'm out.
Look at all these people who advocate and support AB 1955. They were all applauding. Where are they now? That's what I thought. They're a bunch of cat ladies. They're a bunch of cat women.